To understand how a new nation is born, look at the family it came from: Great Britain and its American colonies. For years, the colonies thrived, trading resources for British protection. But as the colonies matured, they wanted a say in their own affairs. After the costly 7 Years' War, Britain taxed the colonies, sugar, stamps and more, to help pay debts. The colonists protested no taxation without representation. They had no voice in Parliament, yet were expected to pay. To them it wasn't just about money, but about their rights as Englishmen. Britain saw the colonies as ungrateful children. The colonists saw Britain as a distant tyrant. The divide deepened, and what began as a family quarrel was turning into something much bigger. The stage was set for a confrontation that would change history. The Atlantic was no longer the only thing separating them. The quarrel had begun. Tensions boiled over in Boston with the Tea Act, a law that made tea cheaper but kept a tax the colonists refused to accept. On a December night in 1773, the Sons of Liberty boarded British ships and dumped tea into Boston Harbour. This Boston Tea Party was a bold act of defiance. Britain responded with the intolerable acts, closing Boston's port, stripping local power and forcing colonists to house soldiers. Instead of dividing the colonies, these harsh laws united them. Colonies sent aid to Boston and gathered in Philadelphia for the First Continental Congress. They weren't yet calling for independence, but they stood together against British rule. The spark of rebellion had been lit. The colonies realized if one could be punished, all could be. The idea of unity was born out of crisis. The path to revolution was now inevitable. The world was watching. The storm was coming. Open conflict erupted at Lexington and Concord. War had begun. The Second Continental Congress faced a choice: demand better treatment or fight for something new. Thomas Jefferson was tasked with writing a document to explain their cause. He declared all men are created equal, with rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Declaration of Independence argued that governments derive power from the people, not kings. If a government abuses its power, the people can change it. On July 4, 1776, Congress approved the Declaration, committing treason in British eyes. For colonists, it was a call to build a nation on liberty and self-rule. For Britain, it was betrayal. The line was drawn, there was no turning back. The fight was now for a new nation. With the Declaration signed, the war for independence began in earnest. The Continental Army, led by George Washington, faced overwhelming odds, short on supplies, facing the world's strongest military. Washington's leadership kept hope alive through hardship and defeat. The British won early battles, but the Americans used their knowledge of the land and guerrilla tactics. The war dragged on, draining British resources. France joined the American side, sending troops and ships, turning the tide. In 1781, American and French forces trapped the British at Yorktown. Lord Cornwallis surrendered. Britain realized the war was unwinnable. The impossible had happened. The colonies had won. The dream of independence was now a reality. The world saw a new nation rise from rebellion. But victory brought new challenges. The real test was just beginning. Winning independence was only the first step. The new states struggled under the weak Articles of Confederation, unable to tax or unite effectively. In 1787, leaders met in Philadelphia to create a stronger government. George Washington presided. James Madison shaped the debates. The result, the United States Constitution, establishing 3 branches and a system of checks and balances. Power was divided between national and state governments. To protect individual rights, the Bill of Rights was added. With the Constitution, the United States was truly born, a nation where the people rule. The journey from colony to country was complete, but the story of America was only beginning.